Okay, everybody, welcome to Takoyaki Party episode number 34. I'm your host, Osaka Joe, and joining me is...
Hey, I'm Matt, aka Matto_Dayo on Twitter.
All right, and also with me is Ryan.
Hello, I am Hunter Rank 13, and I just killed Nergigante yesterday.
All right, congratulations. I think you got carried, so that doesn't really count.
Fighting words, Joe.
Well, Anchi said she was, Hunter rank 9?
Yeah.
9, okay. So at least she's in high rank. Yeah, you gotta give her credit for that.
That's not high rank, is it?
It is. I think it's
12?
Barely high rank. It's like when you first get in.
Anyway, we are a podcast that talks about NMB. Let's just jump straight into the news because I don't know what else there is to talk about. Obviously, this is number 34, so if you've been with us for so long or this long, then you probably know what we're about. So let's just jump straight into the news. First thing I want to talk about is the new single has been announced. Let's just jump into the discussion points. So first of all, Sayaka is the center. What do you guys think about that? Let's start with Ryan.
I don't know. I'm honestly like confused about what's happening because they made a big deal about like people online are talking about they made a big deal about the mic, the golden mic in Masaka Singapore, and Miru gets it, and then she's then the center in Warata People, and I actually agree with them. Like, what's management trying to do? It's like they always say that they have all these concerts about Itsumade Yamamoto Sayaka ni Tayoru no Ka. They're like, okay, we're gonna push the new gen or whatever, and then suddenly they go back to Sayaka. So there's some speculation that there's another like shoe about to drop. So maybe like they got like some big like sponsorship or a TV show or whatever, and like the condition for doing that was that Sayaka has to be center, which would probably be the only reason that I would accept for doing this. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that's funny, right? It's like, hey, we want a new NMB single for our TV show. Oh, really? You do? But Sayaka has to be center. We don't want anybody else. Damn, dude.
No problem there.
Big insult to everyone else. Not to everyone else. To all the other girls. It's like, oh, what if we have Miru? No. Don't want her. It's gotta be Sayaka.
I mean, it makes sense if you're like the producer, right? I mean, it's a TV show or like an advertisement for, I don't know, ice cream or something, and they're like, I should have been Fuchan then. No, but if you're the producer, right? So I'm gonna get NMB48, and then okay, let's use their new song. Oh, cool, let's go. And then but who's gonna be like the front girl? Of course, it's gonna be Yamamoto Sayaka.
I think so. Well, the thing, like, because we mentioned Masaka Singapore and all the extension from Must Be Now, or not Must Be Now.
Bokui Guy.
Yeah, Bokui Guy.
The extended NMB48 cinematic universe.
I actually like no matter how hokey it is, I thought it was funny that the ending of Boku Igai no Dareka actually connected to Persona NMB.
Wasn't Bokura no Yurika supposed to have a story? Right? Didn't they get like shipwrecked or something?
Yes. No,
they never continue it.
But the story is usually like self-contained. It's part of the thing, right? Like Amagami Hime had a really weird story.
But I thought Bokura no Yurika had like a to be continued at the end, right?
No, well, yeah, but they never. Well, it's always what was the single after Bokura no Yurika? It was Kamone Geeks. So they were probably like abducted by aliens and
forced to wear aluminum foil outfits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Reynolds. That's why Psychos.
See, headcanon.
So here's the thing, right? Because I feel like they've done that angle so many times across all the groups, right? The whole, we're going to pass it on to the new gen. And it never happens.
Yes, because they always run back. They always run back to their Blanky.
For like the next single. And then they'll bring it back for the second single. God, what was that one? A Senbatsu single for AKB. I remember that there was like people had like all this black stuff shooting out of their bodies and stuff. I don't remember which one it was.
Oh, that's Manatsuno Sounds Good.
Yeah,
Once
right?
They had like the new gen and the old gen like teams or whatever. They're fighting each other.
Oh man,
Yeah,
you guys want to feel really old. You know, Manatsu the Sounds Good Senbatsu from NMB. You know who the members are?
Wasn't it Fuchan, Watanabe Miyuki, and Yamamoto Saika?
Nope, no Fuchan. It was Joy Rico.
Oh,
Huh.
wow.
Okay.
The first go around.
Original Joe.
Yeah, original Joe. Not the
Version
V2 that we have.
4.0.
Yeah, before we were forced to update. But yeah, like they did that, and then like I think whatever happened, and then I think they did another one, and I think every single Senbatsu single after that was just like, here comes the new generation, and it was, I don't know, I just got tired of it because they would always just go running back, and then like, you know, some people would graduate, right? Like I think Manatsu Sounds Good, whatever it's called. The center was Achan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
The next one was Gingham Check, which was supposedly like Yuko's like coronation.
yeah.
I think.
Well, she won the election, so.
Yeah. Which made sense, right? And then it was gonna be Yuko, and then I think the next one was like Uza,
Yeah.
and then they had the stupid.
That was like 4 centers or whatever.
Yeah. No, the year after that was Sayonara Crawl. That was the 4 centers thing. That made 0 sense because there's 4 of them. So that means there's 2 people in the middle.
Or if you have a box, that means there's no one in the center.
Aha!
That's thinking outside the box. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, if you thought outside the box, then the box is the center. Anyway, so with all that said, right, we have this new single, we have Saika Center, and it's just the same. Like, that's why I don't like this whole like new gen versus old gen thing, because it never works out, and I'm really tired of it.
How would you feel if Sayaka was not in the single at all?
That
Then why
would
is she
be
even
stupid.
in the group?
Exactly. Okay.
Here's the thing. I don't know. Maybe Joe's opinion on this has changed, but like a long time ago, like during Rashkonai, on a previous episode of Takoyaki Party, Joe made the argument that see, I listened to you guys.
Jesus Christ, that's like 4 years ago. Right?
Yeah. During Rashkonai, like Joe said something like, there's no point in Sayaka not being the center if you're still gonna focus on Sayaka.
I think that was my opinion in the last recording too.
So, in the last 4 years, nothing has changed. No, I actually really agree with that. I'm one of those guys who think the rotating center thing is really stupid, even though like I really wish like Yuri would be the center. But there's the argument that says that like Sayaka is the most popular girl in NMB. That's like no question about that. So if your center is supposed to be the person who like is the face of your group, then what's the point of having her there and her not being the center? Because people will still look at her.
Yeah, that's also my opinion on like even just like general sports, right? Like what I don't like this idea of bringing somebody in to like be in the back and like coach from the sidelines. Like that doesn't work. And Sayaka's clearly the best. She can take I think I made this argument on stage, which is funny because that means I posted on stage, which is also funny because I'm a moderator. I shouldn't be posting on stage. She's the only one that gets like mainstream spots on TV.
Yes.
Like consistently, right? I mean, we're talking about like now. Back then they used to get guest spots, right? Like on Sanma's show or whatever.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Or Downtown show even. Not anymore. But she's the only one that gets like mainstream exposure, so she has the best chance to bring more exposure to the group, I think, right? Not to hate on Miru, but like I don't really recall anything happening from like her center positions in Waruto People or anything before that. It was Masaka Singapore, which was an album. And I guess those are the only two, right?
Rashkonai.
That was a half center.
Well, there's no one in the center, right? Because there's 2 people. That means there's nothing in between them.
No,
Oh, there was
Sayaka
somebody
was
in between
them.
Yeah, it was Sayaka.
The shadow
So-
center thing is like one of the dumbest things.
Yeah,
I've seen.
So I'm just really tired of the rotating center. It's become for fans, it's kind of like a shout out, right? Because you always want to see your girl like move up the ranks, right? But that's so insular, whatever.
Yeah.
That's so like focused only on the group as opposed to like marking the group outside, right? And I think in this era with 48 groups on the decline, 46 rising, and just overall like 1 billion girls across both industries. Like you don't have time to play around like that anymore. You gotta bring your best. You gotta bring your big guns.
Makes sense, but I would have appreciated that if they didn't do the whole farce with Masaka Singapore and Bokuige Darika and Masaka Singapore and all the concerts, the No Sayaka concerts.
I think No Sayaka concert is like a good like wake up call, right? Because that means like you're telling everybody to step up, which is okay, right? Like even in sports, right? Like oh they're bringing this team, but like sometimes that person gets injured. It's like oh dude, we got to step up until that person comes back, and then Philadelphia won the Super Bowl. But yeah, like I think that kind of stuff is good, but I don't think it should be like the norm, which is what they did with starting with Rush Kunai when every group I think had different centers.
Oh yeah, there was this like an AKB single where like all the fresh faces got to be center. I don't remember. Was it like Shigam? No.
That was Rush Kunai era though. Rush Kunai was the NMB one. I'm pretty sure they changed like the SKE, the HKT, and the AKB centers for that era.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, so when they started it with the Bokuige Darika, I thought like I didn't think it would be like a saga, right? Like the first time I was like, oh yeah, she's throwing the mic, who's gonna get it?
And then
that's kind of cool. And then I like the Masaka Singapore video.
That was funny.
Yeah,
but like as far as like somebody claiming the mic, I was just like, they should keep fighting over it.
Keep it ambiguous. I know if Sayaka is the center, like a lot of people are thinking it's going to be like a dance focused single, which I'm not necessarily a fan of that because I don't really care for the dance singles. I mean, they're cool depending on when they can be. Like I like Must Be Now. I like Bokuige.
I'd rather they go back to like idol songs. I mean, NMB hasn't done well. I guess Warota People counts, but like they haven't done like the idol songs in a long time. Like,
it's kind of been like a pattern. Like they switched between idol song and dance song.
Yeah,
like you had like Gojurin Shonen, and then it was.
It's funny that we call those the idol songs. Those are it's like the NMB idol songs, right? Like they're all stupid and silly.
Yeah. It's the NMB style idol songs, I guess, because like Kitagawa Kenji, right? Like first time it got announced, people hated it. What the hell is this?
Well, yeah, I mean, just by the title alone, like it's not what the hell is this? It's who is this guy?
Yes. Who the hell is Kitagawa Kenji? If it was actually named like Kaneko's name, then it would have probably been funnier.
Opportunity missed. Let's blame AKB management. Well, like as early as U19, right? Yeah, with the Tetsu no Pantsu, like it's always been like NMB's thing. So I don't know, like people saying the next one will be a dance, and who knows, maybe they're going to try to go the ballad route because, Sangaku Rokujugo Nichi is the best NMB single.
I mean, the best. It's not even an NMB single.
It's not even a single. It's a B-side from an AKB album or single.
It's funny. The funny thing is, like, no. If I ask you now, like, what was the AKB single that was the A-side for that? Could you tell me?
It was Kuchibiru Be My Baby.
Right? So, it was really funny because, like, when 365 actually blew up, right? Like in shops here, like they had like these big like posters and shit, like to say, yeah, the famous like 365 song is in this single, and they had like Kuchibiru Be My Baby, and like the cover and everything had like zero to do with 365.
Well, yeah, I mean, like it was also the Asadora song, so.
And then they re-released it on Amagami Hime, the Sayaka solo version.
Yeah. Which is the official NMB version of it. That's why I don't know, maybe if they do Request R, like if 365 actually gets in, like Sayaka will have to do it solo because there's no like NMB version of 365.
Well, you say they'll have to do it solo, but you never know, something might happen.
Well, yeah, they might do the whole thing. But actually, you guys brought up a good point that 5 minutes or so.
Go for it.
No,
go for it now.
It's the reason that Sayaka is center because Miru is limited as a center. Like, if you think about it, like Rush Kunai, Masaka Singapore, What Are the People, it's all the funny songs. Like, none of they don't have like super like hard choreo or anything. So is it because we want to go with like hard dance here, and I don't think Miru is gonna do it. Can do it.
Well, let me transition that into our next discussion point, which is the Senbatsu. Some news that came out of the Senbatsu is that Fuchan and Lemon are in there. Even though they have, I don't think they're going to be in any events, right?
Yep.
No.
That's, yeah, well, I think you both meant the same thing despite saying different words. The big drop was Op when she's no longer in it, and then the big ad was Kokona.
557.
I was gonna call her Gogo Ichi. I'm clearly thinking of something else. It is dinner time for me. And, you know, like you mentioned, Miru not being able to do stuff despite being in the center, and you think, like, she can't dance. I don't know, I think she could dance, right? Like, I don't think there's a big problem. I think they made such a big deal after Must Be Now that, like, oh, these are the only people that can dance, right? And then everybody does it in the theater. And it might not be perfect, but, like, I don't think anybody really cared that much. It's like, oh yeah, it's not as good in the theater compared to when the real Senbatsu does it, right?
No, I think to be able to stand on the NMB stage, you have to go through Akira, and they're
boss.
Yeah, Final Boss. Like, no, Riripon has talked about this. Like, NMB staff is like super strict. Like, if you can't do it, I'm not gonna let you stand on my stage. Like, which has happened before. Like, there was the Team N concert in NHK Hall. There were 2 days, and then Ririka messed up really, really bad on the first day, and she actually got removed for the second day. And this was a concert. People bought tickets to watch this.
At least that's the official line, right?
The official line was she got sick. But
okay.
It was obvious, like, she was messing up really bad.
Yeah, so she probably she got sick, huh? So she went to see a doctor or something. And then So Senkyo happened. Anyway.
Okay, okay.
Anyway,
I finally got it.
There
I got it.
One thing why I don't think it's gonna be a dance single is because Kokona is in it.
Hey, she's not. I don't know. So I haven't watched like Team N stages recently, but I don't think she's bad. Like, she's not like Shiori level or anything.
Well, I don't even know if Shiori's that bad. People say she's bad, but then again, I say I watch stages. I don't watch the actual performances, so I've never seen her actually perform. Like, I don't know what kind of expectations you get levied towards the single. I still don't understand why Fuchan and Lemon are in it. I really don't.
Yeah, especially with Fuchan, she got like the tepid goodbye last time. So I unless they give her like a really, really big goodbye in this single, it will be really stupid.
I think there's something like bunk about her being in the single and not doing events. Like, that feels like,
yeah,
I don't know. It feels like you're getting ripped off. Well, not we actually. It feels like the company is like trying to extract all the goodness out of them before they leave.
I don't know, because they're not gonna be joining handshake events though, so there's no point. Basically, they're doing this as marketing tactic, right? Because these are our most famous girls, and you know, we might get noticed a little bit more with Fuchan here rather than with like Koko-chan.
I don't know. I think it's the opposite, right? Because you think that handshake sales will drive the single sales.
Yeah.
So if you put somebody like if you put something like Koko-chan, right, and you go, oh, it's her first single, right? More people will buy handshake tickets to say, oh, congratulations, you made it in. Like, this is really cool. Like, you know.
Wait, is it?
So
Koko-chan's
I don't know. I
first
feel
single?
like, what was that?
Is it Koko-chan's first single? No, I mean, you said it would be her first single. I think she's been single Senbatsu before.
Oh.
I mean, she was definitely in Masaka Singapore. I can't remember if she was in Boku Igai no Darika.
Anyway, but like, you know, if you introduce like a new girl, you can even have somebody like Renapyon or like Malkin, right? You can have
Bring in Anchu!
Bring in Anchu, right? Doing that would create more sales for that single, for that girl. So when you have like Fuchan and Lemon in there, you're not creating any new sales. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. I could understand Lemon for the mainstream argument, but like Fuchan's like completely like Ota only. But maybe for them it's like, okay, they didn't plan a single this time, like within this schedule, and they were like, okay, because we have a single because of whatever reason, then we have to put in Fuchan because like it would be like an insult to her if she wasn't in the Senbatsu, right?
I don't think it would, because we all know she's on her way out.
We've had this discussion before that I think like NMB management has like really weird like standards for Senbatsu that I think they adhere to no matter what, which is handshake sales. And
Well, I don't know if we could say that for sure. Even if you bring up handshake sales, right? Like I think Oppon like outsold Lemon. I think.
no, Appon outsells everybody. So in the actual Senbatsu right now, I think only 8 people outsell Appon. That's being generous to the other 4 slot girls. Because obviously like the 5 slot girls definitely outsell her, right? And there's like 5 slot girls.
Even though I'm a Joe fan, like I know that like Joe is probably like the worst selling of the 4 slots.
She's actually 3 slot now. She got demoted.
Yeah, see, so I don't understand what's going on with this Senbatsu.
I think other than the special treatment. I'm sorry, Joe, but Joe gets special treatment. Other than the special treatment girl and the fugu, like the other one. What's the opposite of favoritism? Anti-favoritism. Yeah, but I think they have a set like standard that they adhere to as much as possible. I mean, if you ignore Appon, then it makes a lot of sense. Like the
Really,
current
even with Kokona?
Yeah, because she's 3 slots now, and she's brought herself up to the point where it makes sense that she's Senbatsu. Like it's not like she's 1 slot and she's like, is she Senbatsu?
I don't know. Nothing makes sense to me. But so let's talk. Let's bring into additional discussion, right? Like, is there anyone you think should have made Senbatsu that didn't?
Anchu!
All right. Why do you think Anchi should have made it?
She needs exposure for her YouTube channel that has not been updated lately. But I feel if she gets more fans, they would be really into watching her YouTube channels of her playing video games like Dragon Quest and Super Mario Odyssey and that Japanese train Mario Party game.
That was an awesome game.
Apparently she has like some event happening.
I wanted more like more Matt answers, right?
Like Yahagi or something.
It's like what? Like, why do you want Anchu in the single? Because I like her. All right, leave me alone.
I don't know. They could probably do some interesting single of her, like kind of gimmick, I guess, or novelty. You know.
Yeah, but then I think
Make
she'd
it all
have to
video
be
game
center or at
based
least
stuff.
somewhere front.
Yeah,
If you wanted to.
that's
do
why
that.
make her center.
I like that train of thought.
No, I was saying like I like that Matt doesn't like overthink it. We just had a conversation about like handshake slots and who's management's favorite and whatever. And Matt's like, yeah, make Anchu the center. Why not?
Yeah, exactly right.
I need to reserve a meeting with Cameron at one of the handshake events and like
Say that.
fight for Anchu center.
Look at us with our stick up our butts. Well, according to the statistics, you run the linear regression. No, like, why do you want this? Oh, because I like her. Like, oh yeah, that's good, right? We even try like even tried to be objective, right? Like, oh, I think her YouTube channel, she doesn't update. People will watch that. No, man, it's just like, I like her. I think she'd be great as center. Like, yeah, dude, I like that attitude.
I wish they still had the Akashiro Gumi so that you get like you can have fun combinations. That's why I hope that this new single still has another Quintet song. I think they're like really going hard on that, so maybe they will. Right.
What a nice transition. We can probably transition to that.
Are we going to transition, or are we just no? We're going to stay.
I think we're done talking about the single. I don't know.
Are we? I don't know. I was gonna say, like, what happened to the Niji no Tsukuri Kata unit, man?
Well, the Sosenkyo happened, and everyone watched that.
And well, I mean, now we only have 3 out of 5, right?
Yeah, and then 2 of them are in part of Quintet. So sorry, Koko-chan. Bye.
See, if I was gonna pick a new center candidate, like to be a perma center, I would pick Koko-chan. I think that'd be like awesome.
What?
Yeah.
Is this like Matt with Anchu?
No, I don't really like her that much.
It doesn't make sense.
He just wants to throw a burden on a poor girl.
No. Like, I think if you were gonna throw back, right? If you're gonna throw back to like the Achan era, like I think she like has that same kind of like style, right? Like Sayaka's like the de facto leader, right? Like the Beyonce to Destiny's Child. Like you would only focus on Sayaka.
Yeah.
Which is good for Sayaka.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to throw back to like old style AKB, I think
Like the reluctant center.
like where the center is not like the best at everything, right? And like somehow by putting her in center, I think she would bring everybody else around her up. If that makes any sense.
No, because you can make the same argument for like Shiori.
No, but she already sucks. I'm not saying that like Coco-chan's so bad that she makes everyone around her look better. I think she's pretty good.
But she's not the best.
And she, well, I don't think she's like de facto best in the way that Sayaka's the best, right? Like far and away the best, right? Like can do everything. I think Coco-chan can do everything like really well, but I think the way she is, like she could bring everybody else around her up as well, right? Like it's good enough to where you can still see like the distinctiveness of the other members around her.
You're saying you think she's bright, but she's not like the sun, like Sayaka.
Right, and I think that works for a group where you have 48 girls. Like, you do need somebody, if you wanted to throw back. I'm not necessarily saying it's good. I still like Sayaka Center. But if you wanted to throw back to that era where you had a lot of girls and you need somebody in the middle who's pretty good, really good, but can also, like, bring everybody else, like, and be, like, distinct from everybody else, I think Coco-chan would be it.
I don't know. I don't see it, but I respect your argument. Because
basically, you don't respect my argument.
No, I respect your opinion. I just don't agree with it.
Okay.
I think Yuri should be center because, she should be.
At least Matt said he liked Anchi.
You know my opinions on that.
None of this Destiny stuff. Get that out of here. But Matt wanted to transition to the next topic, so we'll go to the Quintet event report because Ryan actually reserved some books and went to the event in Shibuya, I think, right?
Shinjuku,
Shinjuku.
right?
What is it? They both have Shi in their names.
How many books did you reserve for that?
12.
How much was each one?
1,000 yen? $10.
So the price of a single, and you said you got like 7 seconds with each girl?
Depends. So, it was, it was like a funnel. You get like so the order was, Azusa, Saipi, Nagisa, and Akarin. And you get like a crazy amount of time with Azusa. And then it, gets shorter and shorter until you get to Akarin. You can just say hi, and then she gives you the book and you go away.
I like that imagery. It's like a funnel.
It was like people were like, "Oh, go!" And you get I don't know how that happens. Maybe someone like blocks the Akarin part so everyone like stops. But it always happened to me. Like I would stop at like Azusa and I would have like a lot of time with her.
Okay, but this was different than what they announced before, right? Like they said there would be 2 lanes.
Yeah, so originally it was gonna be Quintet, right? Quintet is 5 members. So what they did was they split it into 2 lanes. So it was Akarin, Azusa, and Saipi lane, and there was the Yuri Nagisa lane. So that's the explanation why I have that many tickets for this handshake.
Yeah, we all wanted to hear the explanation.
Yeah, so okay. It was funny too, so I'm gonna. You think me buying 12 books is crazy? I'm gonna explain how.
No, it's
how
not.
much crazier it is. No. So the event is being held by like this famous bookstore for meet and greets. So this bookstore does a lot of meet and greets. So if you buy the book, you have to like reserve it in their store, right? But to reserve the books, you have to be a member of the store.
What's the name of the store? Fukuya?
Fukuya.
Yeah, I think I went to that also for Milky's style book.
Yeah, everyone does that.
Yeah.
Basically, if you release like something, you have to go through that.
My friend used to call it books. Fuck yeah! So
yeah, so I had to sign up for a 6-month membership to this bookstore, which was $30.
Jeez.
Yep.
Wait, what do you get with the membership? You get like discounts on books though?
No.
There's access to buy books.
Yes.
Basically. It's like Costco, but for books.
What? Are you serious? Are the books even cheaper there?
No, it's a normal bookstore, but to be able to reserve books, you have to be a member.
A member.
It's not like Costco, right? No discount on buying the same book in bulk.
Is there a food court?
No hot dogs. No.
Yeah, no,
Damn.
No Kirkland.
Hyakuin hot dog.
No. So I obviously, like, not everyone's gonna be like Fukuya member, right? So they also sold it with Ticket Pia, which is like 7-Eleven tickets. But the Fukuya bookstore had like an exclusivity window with like when they can sell. So they sold like 2 hours before Pia opened.
Mm-hmm.
So when I found out about this, like, oh shit, like, should I wait for Pia? But what if it sells out before Pia comes out? So
I only be able to buy 5 books instead of 12.
yeah. And no. So Fukuya, you can only buy 3 books.
Okay.
That was the max with 1 membership.
So did you make multiple memberships?
No, with Fukuya, I only made 1 membership. So with
Hey, let's not talk about breaking the law here.
No, it's not.
Let's not forget that Aika fan who broke into people's houses to get handshake tickets.
No. That's the dumbest thing ever, by the way. Yeah, so I bought the books, whatever. Long story short, and then like a week later, I guess they announced. Not even a week later, maybe more than a week later, but they announced that like Yuri was going on hiatus, and I was face palmed really hard. And I actually considered not going because
you also considered like selling me or giving me tickets to go.
Yeah, I actually tried selling it to Matt, and he was like, I'll think about it. And then on the day itself, I was like, Matt, I'm gonna give it to you. Come here.
And he was like, no, we gotta play Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Matt turned down free handshakes for Monster Hunter.
Pretty good deal.
I'm sure Andy would have taken my offer if he was in Tokyo.
Dude, Andy missed going to the theater because Monster Hunter.
We don't talk about that, Joe.
Let's not sell Monster Hunter short, man. Come on. Good game.
Funniest thing ever. Anyway, so I went there, and so they changed the order where it's not 2 lanes anymore. So because I guess the idea was that like Yuri and Nagisa as a group is popular enough that they would get enough people to go to them, versus like the other 3 where it's Akarin, Saipi, and Azusa. But then without Yuri, then they can't really do 2-2, which because like it's not enough star power, I guess.
Maybe they would be able to do in Osaka. Probably not Tokyo though.
Yeah. So they did like. So I guess from other people, it was like lucky for them. Like, so instead of like 1 handshake, instead of 2 handshakes or 3, I get 4.
Yeah, good deal, good value.
Yeah,
make that $30 membership worth it.
Also, if you have the $30 membership, you get to the front of the line. But
okay. I thought you were gonna say like they also have other events for like actual authors.
No. What? Oh, what's funny is that funny thing is that Jo, our friend Jo from Thailand, she wanted to buy because Akarin is doing another photo book, so she has another event in Fukuya.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, and so she was asking me to help her buy from 7-Eleven. I said no, I have the Fukuya one. You want to use it? So at least my $30 membership was useful.
All right. Yeah, helping out other people, helping the community. That's what we do here on Takoyaki Party.
Yes.
Share the love.
So they've been marketing Quintet as the Joseoki unit, the girl power unit.
Yes, and it was kind of scary with the amount of girls there.
Okay, I was a little confused because we saw you on the news, right? They're like, look at this Joseoki unit, right? And there's only those 2 girls in front of you, and like everybody else is a dude.
Yeah. Well, because like the people who bought early tickets are dudes, right? The girls wouldn't buy through Fukuya. They would buy through 7-Eleven. So this was like really early, and they asked people who wanted to get on TV. So obviously I didn't want to get on TV, so I didn't line up for it. But the problem was like the TV people were like really slow. So when the people who were supposed to be filmed, the girls that that agreed to get filmed, right? When they had already left and like all the other people started going in, that's when the TV people started shooting.
So they're doing like B-roll, and you got caught on the B-roll.
Yes.
I thought it was so funny, right? As soon as they start filming, right, you turn your face away, like, oh, I don't want to be on TV.
180 degrees.
Was it obvious? It was obvious, right? Actually, I had a bad feeling because I was like those two girls were in front of me. It's like, oh shit, they're kind of cute. If I were like TV people, I'd want to get like a shot of them.
Yeah, they're also really distinctive too. Like,
Yeah, because they wore
dyed
like
hair,
big, yeah.
and like all the other dudes, right, are just wearing like plain like gray and black, and then the girls with their dyed hair and their outfits. It's like, oh, okay, we got to get those two girls.
Yeah.
So how's your handshake experience, right? Because I'm pretty sure you don't visit any of those other 4 girls.
Luckily, there was at the end of the year last year, there was a Watashikai, what's that, giveaway event for the new single for Warata People in Tower Records. So I bought a bunch of CDs for that, and I got so there was a mini handshake event. So the roster for that was Akarin, Yuri, Saipi, Uka, and Miru. From there, like so Akarin and Saipi are part of Quintet, right? So at least like in Quintet, at least I have experience with those two.
Okay.
And I've been to Azusa once. Nagisa was, I guess, the first time. No. Actually, I got to know Nagisa a lot for in the national handshakes because she was in the same lane as Yuri.
Anyway,
this is crazy.
Give us the details, man. I don't want to hear about this background information.
Okay.
Actually, I want to know about the background information. So, at the event, were they playing Which One Do You Like on repeat for the entirety of the event?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that.
Why?
Like this, like it's like playing on a repeat nonstop for how many hours were you there? Like 3 hours?
Was I? Yes, it was 3 hours.
Yeah.
Anyway,
because the thing, like with the NMB handshakes, especially, is like they play like the same like 5 or 6 songs from each single, on repeat for the whole event. So if you're there all day, you're gonna hear the same songs over and over again.
Yeah.
So
this one was worse because
especially it's
just Which One,
a real earworm.
Okay.
Anyway, so handshake reviews. Azusa was really nice. So basically, I think the order of the girls was the order of the good reactions. So
I thought you were going to say the popularity.
No. Well, it was the popularity too, but no, it was the good reactions. Like Azusa tried really hard. Like everyone, like she was like, "Oh, hi!" It's like, and she was like, "Oh," she was like referencing stuff that happened like earlier and stuff like that. She was like very, very good. I think like people would enjoy her. Not for me, but like people would enjoy her, I think.
I think she's very good objectively, but not for me.
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense, man.
No, I think like if I had like money to spend or something, I would go to her, I guess.
Money to spend. You do have money to spend.
We will talk about that. Anyway. The next Saipi was the funny story with Saipi because she remembered me from Tower Records from that handshake event.
That's where the background information comes in.
Yes, that's why I was bringing it up. And she remembered me, and for some reason she thinks I'm her Oshi. No, I Oshi her.
There you go.
Yeah, because she was like, "Oh yeah, welcome back," and it's like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "Oh yeah, she remembers me." Okay, and then it's like, "Oh, you look really nice today," blah blah blah, and then like I don't know, the last one I think I said, "Yeah, I think this is the last one," and she's like, "Oh okay, so when are you coming to see me again?" Never.
Damn, dude.
No,
Did you really say never?
Yeah, no, I said I don't know.
Boo. Grow some balls,
like,
man.
And there was like a handshake. There was a handshake on Sunday, I think, in Tokyo Big Sight, and she was like,
she was expecting you.
Yeah, she said, "No, you're coming in. You're coming to Tokyo Big Sight, right?"
Nah, son.
Is Yuri there?
It's like, no. Okay, and then I got like dragged off.
I remember Andy said he liked Saya because like she's like super real.
Yeah.
I bet if you said hell nah, dude, you'd get something cool. You'd get a good reaction.
No, because like I didn't want to ruin it for like some guy who maybe looked like me, who actually goes to her.
Oh man, I don't
Brasha
know.
Oshi.
That's her fault, right?
Yeah.
I think it'd be her fault if she mixed you up with some other dude that like.
Anyway, that was funny. But she was like really nice. She had like gave good reactions, and she was really pretty that day. I remember like Andy commenting on that too, and I thought that too. She looked really good that day.
I feel like it's just that one photo where she looks totally different. But like I think
well, maybe that was what got Andy to react. But I thought she looked really good that day.
okay.
Then Nagisa was like Nagisa, like she was like very very like tikto, like how do you say that in English? Like
Typical.
no, tikto is like give random. She's very random.
Oh, she's random. That's not Tekito.
That's tikto.
What? I thought Tekito was like appropriate.
It's the other usage of tikto, which is like complete opposite of appropriate.
Oh man, that is literally that is literally the use of literally.
Yes, it's
Okay.
it's like one of those Japanese things. But tikto is the other way. It's the if you ask her like, oh Nagisa, you look really nice today. I think I said like I like your hair because her hair was in a bun.
Uh-huh.
So I said I like your hair. She said, oh really? I said you can eat it.
What?
It's like what? And she like she mind giving me her hair as a bun. Here, eat it.
Yeah.
I think she's Anpanman.
That's why she's really popular with the girls.
Why? Because guys are
I don't
really
know.
weirded out by her.
I don't know. That was the worst non sequitur.
Yes.
Did you ask her about May?
No. My
Her
cat.
cat May.
My cat in Monster Hunter is named after Nagisa's cat.
Oh, I didn't know because you don't. Every time we play, you either don't play with me or
we're with other
there's always
people.
too much of us, so we
Yes.
don't have cats.
Yes. My cat is named after Nagisa's cat. And like Akarin was like I don't want to say bad things, but she was kind of bad that day. She was like she wasn't giving any answers. Like obviously like she's like kind of harried, right? And it's like it's a handshake event, you don't really get much time. But I thought like she was kind of cold. It's hard to describe, but and I heard from other people that she was okay. So maybe it was just me. Maybe she just really disliked me, or she remembers she remembers like the Tower Records event where I told her like I was just there for Yuri.
Oh God.
Yeah, that would do it, right?
That's the real answer. That's the wrong person to give the real answer.
And
to.
I can't believe you preface that with saying like, "Oh, I don't want to say bad things," right? And just straight up told her, "I'm not here for you."
No, not in this event though. I said it in the other event.
Yeah, she remembers that. She was the one that was like giving out the books too, wasn't
She was. That's why you get like
At
the
the end
least
of the
amount
night.
of time with her. 'Cause she would shake your hands and then and give you the book, and then that's the signal for the staff to like kick you out. No, because like the other girls, they don't really have much Hagashi, but Akari had like the aggressive one.
Maybe before accepting the book, you should have like wiped your hands on your pants like 3 or 4 times.
No, that would mean
that'll give you extra time.
no, that would mean that I'm trying to wipe off like Nagisa's handshake.
Well,
Or go in with your arms crossed, and you have to like stick them out to actually grab.
so after shaking hands, you can like cross your arms.
Oh, I'm really cold. You know, I need to warm my hands. Or stick them in your pockets or something. I don't know.
Anyway, I thought it was like a good event if you like those girls, I guess.
Well, like I've been to one of the like non-events, which was Johnishike's like DVD event.
Uh-huh.
I think those are really interesting, right? Because it's kind of like the same thing as a handshake, but like kind of it's different because it's a lot smaller venue, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you get like, it's one of those things that you can go on the spur of the moment too. So
Says the guy who bought a $30 membership.
yes, well,
Spur of the moment. All right, got it. Well, they didn't sell out, huh? You probably still could have gotten them from Pia.
yes. At the very, very end, you could have probably. I don't know. I don't know if they accepted like same day. I don't think they did. But like a day before, I looked at Pia and you could still buy.
Okay.
Although it sold out very fast. It was really weird. Like on the day that they sold it, it was sold out. But I guess like a lot of people didn't pay. So you got you probably had like scalpers like buying a lot, and then when they realized that the demand wasn't really there, they released they didn't pay. They did the match special.
Maybe it's. I was gonna say maybe it's the other thing where like they all thought it was gonna sell out, and so they just bought like excess, and then when they realized they didn't pay.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Any other comments on the event?
I hope Quintet. They're actually like continuing Quintet. They're gonna be producing like cosmetics or something like that. So I hope I think it's a good idea. Like they're actually like heavily targeting like the female market, and I hope it catches on.
So you can buy your own makeup, right? Is that it? Is that the reason?
I have a makeup pouch if you guys want.
Make out pouch.
No, makeup pouch,
including breath mints.
And like
I got a tiny can
Xanax
of
or something.
Xanax, Jesus. This escalated quickly. I don't think you were just going for the makeout if you're going to carry Xanax.
Sort of anxiety.
My chloroform rag. Oh, what?
Oh my God.
all in my makeout pouch.
that escalated quickly.
That was all you. Okay, that's all for Quintet. Next piece of news, we're gonna talk about Mirai's grad announcement.
I don't know how we can go from make out pouch to Mirai's grad.
Well, if there's anybody that can do it, it's probably you. Mirai is was the youngest, right? The youngest of the 5th gen.
Yes.
Yeah, she announced her graduation, said it was because of academic reasons. I don't know if we can really believe that or not.
Everyone says it's academic reasons, so we can't really parse that.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, so I guess the only discussion point we have for this is, did you like Mirai?
She was like really, really into Yuri. She like because like my point
not even about you. It's like, oh yeah, she's really into this other girl. Okay.
No, because that was the reason why I started like paying attention to her. The unfortunate thing about Mirai is that she was like, because she was really young, like she never lost the gakiness, the kid, because she's a kid, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, but she was like, no,
there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, sir. Okay, Lolicon.
No, compared to like 557, where she's, I mean, you could get arrested, but you know.
This is getting worse.
My point was that she acted like a kid most of the time, which is kind of like not idly. So, but I always thought like if she grew out of like the kid phase, like I remember Keira, she was very similar, right? She was like a kid, but like she grew up to be really pretty, blah blah blah. So
I was hoping. Grow up.
Who?
She didn't even grow up, Kayla.
Yeah, she quit while... No, she was like in the middle of growing up. And she was like really pretty, right? So, yeah, that's true.
All right, Lolicon, you're just digging yourself into a bigger hole. I think she left when she was like 13 or something, or 14.
Keira?
Yeah, she was the same age as Kojin now, right?
Is she?
Yeah, you said... Didn't somebody say that they went to the same high school?
What? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like when she left, which was like 4 years ago, she's still like 14, man. Oh man, this.
Okay, let's stop this.
Okay, but, anyway.
Yeah, so I saw potential in Mirai, but it's unfortunate. But it's one of those things where it's hard to have an opinion because her body of work is so little. Like she has that YNN thing, but like there's not much, right?
Did either of you get 5th gen handshake tickets?
I did like the gauntlet one where they're all on a line, but it was such a blur because I could not know who was who. Also, I think I was wearing my American flag costume, so that like one of them was like, "Oh, England," and I'm like, "No, it's America." I was so mad. But yeah, I didn't even remember. Like, it's such a blur. Yeah.
Who did you see? Benedict Arnold?
Yep.
Who did you? You went to the Gauntlet too, right, Joe?
Me, I went through it, I think 4 times.
Oh,
I think I had 2 for because I think they split it into 2 lanes, right?
did they?
Yeah.
I remember there was one where they split it, and so I remember using like a couple on different ones. But yeah, I went through the gauntlet, and that's like when you say like she has such a small body of work, I was like, well, did anybody else go see her at the handshake? Because to me, that's my biggest memory of like Mirai, right? Like you say, like you didn't like her because she like acted like a kid, but I think that was like the really interesting part about her handshake events because she was like, well, okay, like me and Matt taught in school, so I always think there's like different types of kids, right? There's the ones that just like go and punch you in the nuts, and then there's like and like make fun of you all the time, and then there's the ones that like don't even give you the time of day, and so like the latter is Kokona, right? So like when you say like, oh, she's only Mirai's a kid, I was like, no, dude, Kokona's also a kid, like the one that won't talk to you because she's, I don't know, she's out there in her own little world.
Too cool for school.
Yeah, and then for Mirai, she's like the really Genki type, right? The one that like was like always really excited to see you and like always talking like really loud, and
It's like a puppy.
It's not my thing, right? Because I was a teacher, and so if I wanted like the little kid that like always hangs out and talks really loud to me, like I just go to school. There's already a bunch of kids that do that to me. But like I could see like people like liking her, and I remember me and Andy mentioned this when he got done with our gauntlet. Like there were these 2 or 3 girls. We were in Osaka. 2 or 3 girls like at the exit of the handshake line, and they were like screaming and yelling at Mirai, and they were like so like in love with her. And I was like, oh, okay. So I guess that's her thing, right? Like you say, it's not a good thing. I think it was like a really good thing for her fans. And I think that's why people liked her.
Yeah, fair enough.
I thought she was okay. I think that.
What do you think, Matt?
I have no thoughts whatsoever. Like I said, I could have met her. I don't know. It was in the gauntlet. It's such a blur. So
Yeah, so you didn't really follow her like at all.
no, I didn't like. Yeah, I haven't really started like watching any of like the Manabuku and stuff until like really recently. So
Who do you know from 5th Gen then? Johnny Shirei.
Rei, Suzu,
Of course you know, pervert.
Ion.
That doesn't. You can't call him a pervert just because he knows Rei and Suzu, who are the sisters of 2 other members.
Yeah,
That is bunk, man. That is bunk. You
like
can't
so
do
like
that.
when they announced 5th Gen and I saw the younger siblings of former members or current members, whatever. I was thinking like they do kind of like the Mortal Kombat X thing where they brought the NMB kids, and it's like they do a new generation with these members. They do a new gaining with the NMB kids.
Oh, they should actually.
That's what I was hoping. They never did though, so
Yeah.
because I have better ideas than management. you should pay me to come up with great ideas, like Anchi being center for next Senbatsu.
For the
They're
next
getting
5
close,
Senbatsus.
right? They're getting close with the new gen. They have like the Dekimasu no Yoni show,
Yeah.
which is just all the kids, and then they had their own Hawaiian TV special.
That was unfair, but yeah, it was good for them.
Okay, I don't think we have much to say about Mirai then,
Yeah,
right?
it's unfortunate, and we're sorry to see her go, and we hope she stayed.
We wish her the best in the Mirai.
Oh,
Get off the show.
I'm announcing my graduation from Takoyaki Party.
Today we're announcing another graduation, which is Matt. Okay. All right. Let's go to our next final piece of news. I don't think we talked about in the last episode, but they announced like a Guam tour where you can get like a tour package, and then you get some stuff. You get a concert. You get to go on a tour. I don't know what else was there, but
So yeah, it's, yeah.
but Matt has already bought his ticket along with Andy. Ryan is still on the fence. So why don't we have Matt talk about the Guam tour and why he's looking forward to it?
Yeah, so basically it's this huge like travel package provided by JTP, which is like a travel agency here in Japan. Basically it's 4 days, 3 nights from April 20th to the 23rd. And it's going to Guam so I think on the second day of the tour. So first day is getting there. Second day is a concert, followed by a after party, which is basically some kind of catered dinner hangout session with the members. I don't know. I literally have no idea what to expect from that. Sounds like it might be really cool.
or it could be the
and
most
then the
awkward
next-
thing ever.
Or the most awkward thing ever.
I'm guessing it's the latter.
Yeah,
Yeah. Especially because I think it'll probably be like very like, high highly chaperoned, high security. You know, you can't even get close to the members. It's not like you're gonna be like sitting at a table with them drinking beer or whatever with them.
Drinking
that'd be take shots. Yeah,
Drink shots of Sayaka. Let's go.
yep.
I'm thinking it's gonna be more like a dinner at a wedding where like they have like the head table,
Yeah.
and then like everybody else is like on one of the other tables.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
then
I mean.
Here's
there's
my
a
hope.
program and
Here's
everything.
my hope. I hope they have like a karaoke thing.
It's
I
not
think
gonna
they will. I think they would. That sounds like something they would do.
Yeah, and just go up and do it. I would do it.
Oh, I don't know about you. I was thinking like just for the girls.
Well, I think the fans or the girls could go up and do it.
Matt goes up and sings Masaka Singapore or something in Guam.
No, he's gonna. He's gonna sing like Metallica or something.
Gonna do some DMX. You know, I don't know.
Stop. Drop.
What? You know, and all that. Anyway, so that's day 2, and then day 3 is supposed to be like the morning Japanese like exercise or whatever. You know,
Yeah,
How that is.
that's the most awkward thing ever. I think
I think that'll probably be very awkward.
Yeah.
And then following that is the hashtag Instagram tour.
you should talk about Instagram first, Matt. Like why are
So
they
it's-
actually doing
I'm
this?
still on the exercise part. Like you guys say, it'll be awkward. I feel like it's not supposed to be awkward, but it's going to be awkward.
It's gonna be like a bunch of old ota,
Well, I mean, like,
male ota.
Well, they do this at offices in Japan, like in the workplaces. Like they have the little like song they play on a CD.
Did you guys do that in your schools?
They do it during PE classes
Raja Taiso?
and during the sports festivals, like at the very beginning.
for the Rajo Taiso, I've only seen it done when we do like the big events like Undokai and stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
we do stretch before PE,
Oh.
just not Rajo Taiso.
Yeah.
I hope they would do
Ah.
Raja Taiso because it would be funny.
And then Instagram. So I guess Japan and Guam we're partnering up basically to encourage tourism to Guam for Japanese people. And back in January?
No,
February?
Much.
December,
earlier.
November,
Yeah.
right?
November, December.
Yeah, there are 7 members of the 48 group that went to Guam using the Instagram promotion. Basically, Instagram, they all took pictures on Instagram, them going to the beaches, playing volleyball, you know.
Oh, dude,
Hanging
just like
out.
Dead or Alive.
Yeah. Go to the casino, buy new swimsuits for your girls.
Sayaka threw your swimsuit in the trash. No.
Get her the Venus bikini, you know, the one that's just like just a string and little gems covering. Well, anyway.
I just remember getting them swimsuits, and they would always throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
And you get that notification, like, "Oh no, man, what did I do?"
Do the beach bum attack, whatever. They're bouncing on the little thing in the pool, and they have to hit each other in the butts.
I only played the first one.
Oh, okay.
I didn't play the 360.
Or 3 that came out only in Japan.
Didn't it get banned in
It
the
has,
US
it has
or
VR,
something?
It has VR support too.
I don't think it got banned. They just didn't release it here.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically it's gonna be some kind of like tour, like guided tour, like we're all in shuttles. Presumably, be separated, The girls all be in their shuttle and then all the fans will be carted into this other shuttle.
Andy was saying that he hoped like they'd split up the girls into like all the buses.
Yeah. You have the Sayaka bus.
Yeah.
And
I've seen adult
like,
videos that begin this way.
Okay, moving on.
yeah. And then I think that's pretty much it.
And you go back to Japan.
Go back to Japan next day. Yeah, so it's I don't know. So the whole thing, I guess, depending on which package, there's like a 3-day package where you actually arrive on the day of the concert. There's also one where like you don't buy a return ticket, instead you're on your own getting back. But we went to one where it's like 4 days, so one day is actually getting there, and then you have like kind of the evening to yourself, and then you start up with the events. That's the event we're doing, the 4 days, and that one costs 140,000 yen.
Yes, $1,400 US.
Yep.
If you don't adjust for the advantageous rate that we have.
Yeah.
So it's more like $1,200 or something.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, buy me a ticket, Joe.
Oh yeah, let me just pull out my $1,200.
Yeah. Or you could do what I did, and so I was up for doing this, but the only thing that was keeping me was I don't have 140,000 yen just to throw right away in a short period of time. So I'm taking a loan from the Bank of Andy.
Maybe we should put this on the podcast, and we would get all these requests from like, "Oh, Andy, loan me some money." Like,
And Andy's like this Yakuza boss.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm getting some help with paying for this. That's the only reason. That's the only thing that's keeping me from not going. Is just money. So, and also Sayako is there. Sayako is also the big appeal. Like looking at the rest, because they actually just revealed like the other 7 members. There's 16 members are going to be there. Sayako's the only one that matters.
No.
Ooh, what about that other girl from the other group?
Oh yeah, Yamada Nanami from Kobe from Team 8.
Oh yeah, her.
I like her too.
I was just joking. I didn't know you actually knew who else was going.
Okada Nana is going to.
Yeah, Guam.
Yeah, Guam.
You're gonna have the advantage, you and Andy, because you can speak English. I was gonna say, I think Andy spotted you with that loan because you either had
he
to
doesn't
pay...
know English.
You had to pay the like what 1,400 was just like if you didn't want to like bunk with somebody else, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why he spotted you. He didn't want to bunk with some other greasy otaku guy.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
I'm already a greasy otaku guy, but at least he knows me.
But he's hunted with you, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I've hit him a few times with a hammer.
That's the reason, right? It's not because we've all been on the same podcast and saw each other at handshake events and hung out. It's because you did a Monster Hunter hunt together. That's why. That's what.
You don't know a person until you hunt monsters with them.
Yeah, if they cart 3 times, then like friendship over.
Yeah.
So one of the new ads to the Guam tour was Ota Yuri, which is why. Can you convince Ryan to go, Matt?
Hey Ryan, Yuri's gonna be there.
I don't know. Maybe. If I can find someone to go with me, I don't want.
I mean, you have your posse of Yuri Oshis, don't you?
Yeah.
Any of them interested, or are they not going?
I'm asking around if who wants to go with me.
Why don't you just room with Yuri herself?
If they'd let me.
That's disgusting. I don't want to.
Hey, you brought it up.
Yeah, but you finished it.
Or, actually, how about this idea? So you just, you get like the rando room or whatever, but you just don't sleep in that room. You can just sleep on the floor with me and Andy.
Andy actually suggested that to me, but then we all don't get our money's worth then, because then you have like an extra guy in your room, and then I have to sleep on the floor or the couch or whatever.
We're not gonna be sleeping anyway.
Why are you gonna be?
Baby.
Okay, I don't want to get involved.
This is how those AV videos.
Yep.
Right, one girl and a bunch of buses, and then a hotel. Oh man. Anyway, let's not talk about my personal interest right now. And anything else you want to add about the Guam tour?
That sounds like it'll be. I'm still like kind of in disbelief because when Andy told me, Matt, we're going to Guam, I'm like, oh crap, we're going to Guam, but also, okay, yeah, we're going to Guam. I'm still like in kind of disbelief, because I've never been to Guam.
Yeah, that's all. That's also the one thing that's kind of cool. You're going to Guam
for the first time for an idol event, because I only go to dumb things. So I've done a lot of dumb stuff for idol events. I've gone a lot of places for idol events. So this is probably the first time I've done that.
Did you get to eat?
Go to another country.
Get to eat American hamburgers again? Oh, you came back and
I did that. Yeah,
that would be like a good topic for future podcast, Joe. What the dumbest thing you've done for idols?
Oh, I thought you were going to say American hamburgers.
Well, that too, yeah.
I'm good at that. I don't know about dumbest thing.
And then another thing that's pushing me to do it was, I play Pokemon Go, and there are 2 Pokemon you can only get in the tropical regions. So Corsola and Heracross, you can only get those in the tropical region. So that's actually probably the bigger point of me.
Probably the bigger point. What a liar!
I'm going to Guam because I'm trying to catch Pokemon.
I was considering going to Okinawa for the Sosenkyo because I want to get those Pokemon there too. But
hey,
good thing you didn't.
Wait for the Senkyo this year.
Who knows where it's going to be?
Yeah,
it's going to be in Los Angeles, a Staples Center. Has a roof.
Same time as the NBA Finals, right? Usually it's in June.
That's okay. The Lakers aren't going to be in the finals.
Yeah, neither is the other team, the Clippers. Remember, we have 2 teams. Neither of them are going to make it.
Yes. What if it's like an LA versus LA? Anyways, let's move on. Enough sports.
All right, so that's all for news. I hope you enjoyed the news. This is a lot
And
longer than I
sports.
expected.
And sports.
What'd you say?
And
And
sports.
sports.
Yeah.
And sports
Now
is
let's go
part
to the
of
weather.
Nagisa?
It's so Nagisa. No, I was gonna say it's super windy in like Los Angeles right now. There's like some polar vortex stuff going on.
We actually went there. Okay.
Yeah, we got random snow last night. Or previous night. But yeah.
Yeah, stupid climate change.
Yep.
Thanks, stupid president of. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. So, like we wanted to continue from the last one, where we talk about the meta stuff, or how you can become a better fan, all that kind of stuff. So, my proposed topic, I don't know how far we're gonna get, is what kind of pitfalls do you think foreign fans fall into? This will be really juicy.
Juicy.
Let's start with Matt, because I think Matt didn't have that much to talk about with Mirai, so we will have him lead off. Is there any particular pitfalls you think that foreign fans might fall into that, like, kind of prevent them from being quote unquote a better fan?
A lot of it's like just talking about like how much you support your Oshi or whatever, and like, oh man, I love her so much, even if they've never met him or have never even said, quote unquote, bought goods or a CD or whatever. So, but I think that's also kind of difficult to get stuff overseas.
So what do you mean?
like-
So what's the pitfall?
Pitfall is just like, I guess, empty promises, empty love. How you can overcome that by throwing money at your problems.
Well, so I brought this up, right? Like I was hanging out with the Basugatsu Bakatsu guys. We were eating dinner, right? And I was saying like we were gonna put this topic on our podcast, and they were like, "Yo, dude, what if you like a girl because you think she's hot, and then you meet her and you're like, damn, dude, she is hot, and you're satisfied with your purchase? Like, what would you say to them?"
Well,
Congrats.
first I say that you're purchasing a date with a girl. That's kind of weird.
I think that's kind of, you're in the wrong fandom to make those kinds of comments.
I guess it's like
After talking about $1,400 Guam trip.
Yeah, and adult videos.
no videos. So yeah, I think like I've had this a couple times where I've had an Oshi, I've never met him at a handshake event, and then after going to a handshake event and meeting him, I was either more impressed with him or I completely lost all interest with him. So it's kind of like, yeah.
Let's go to the negative side. Which girls has that happened to you?
Let's see. I guess it's not so much I hate her, but Yokoyama Yui. Sorry, Jeff.
Oh.
Shots
and it's
fired.
just-
See, this is why we do the podcast. This is the juicy stuff, man.
Jeff's gonna be.
And I've given her like many tries too, so it's like most recently back in November. So like basically after so my original Oshi was Maida Atsuko, but I never actually met her. She graduated before I started going to handshake events. So Yui was my next one.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I met her, I felt like okay, yeah.
Were you like really into
Okay.
her, or just like?
It's kind of like blind love,
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say really into her, because when you don't go to handshake events and you want to say you're into them, and then
But
go,
like I followed her into her activities in NMBs. That's kind of how I ended up here. I watched like all of her shows and stuff whenever she was on. I voted my very first election. I voted for her in 2013 was my first election. I voted for her. Gave her 15 votes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
and you don't even like her.
yeah. And then very funny because then the very next, I think I Oshi Hen to Sayaka like a month after that.
So what? Why were you like disappointed, or?
I think I was kind of just like she's kind of boring to talk to. She's like very Majime, very serious with like you're not gonna get like the crazy reactions where doesn't feel very kami when you talk to her compared to like Sayaka or whoever.
But Sayaka's very similar, right? No.
No, Sayaka, she's really into what you have to say, and like she'll have a response to whatever you say to her.
Oh.
I think she's a little
Yuri
bit
is
of both,
kind of-
right? Like she looks majime, she looks really serious, but like if you give her like a goofy line, then she'll run with it.
Oh, maybe. So, because like my impression of Sayaka is always the Majime type, because I guess it's a style, I guess, like with like Ota 2, right? Like the Ota style and then the member style. There's the Majime style, there's the Tsuri style, and then there's like whatever Anchu is.
Anchu is quality. You
Yeah.
stop talking trash about her.
I'm not talking trash about it. I'm saying like there's like those like how members like they always have like a gradient, right? Like they're somewhere around that scale. And I guess like I always thought like Sayaka was on the like the Majime side. So because I guess I've never tried like trying crazy stuff with Sayaka because I always do the Majime stuff with everyone as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sayaka can be goofy if you have the right lead in, because at least that's what I can tell from like reading like Andy stuff. And then I don't remember with the other girls I can get more than one ticket, whereas Sayaka I've only gotten like one, so I don't think I would ever be able to get to the goofy side with one ticket.
Yeah, because what cemented my support for Sayaka was first time I saw her was at a 2-shot event. I had 3 tickets for her, different times across the day. And basically, by the end of the day, she like knew my name.
Yeah, she's
she's really good at remembering names. And then even all these years I've gone to her now, she still remembers my name.
Bob.
So, obviously, yeah, Bob. Which I guess that's kind of a big thing that can like support your interests or your continued support for a member. How much do they remember you? I mean, like for like Ryan, for example, does Yuri call you does she call you Ryan, or she even know your name?
Yeah, I guess I think she knows. I mean, I don't like testing I'm always of the opinion that
that's also weird. Yeah,
I'm always of the opinion that it's really unfair for Wota to try to test girls
or expect them to remember your name.
Yeah,
it's okay for them to test us if you pay $80.
Ooh, oh, they just released some sample questions, by the way, as in just now.
Yeah, there's email. Yeah.
Anyways,
we'll look at it after.
Yeah, so I'm of the belief that like it's really unfair because like these girls meet like 1,000 people a day, and like I really dislike the people who go like, "Hey, do you remember me?
What's my name?
What's my name? Shout out to Carrie.
Are we going back to DMX? Well, I feel like in real life too, like just asking people if they remember you is just kind of awkward.
It's rude, right?
Yeah.
Or I mean, some people like I'm bad with names. I don't remember. Like hell, like I don't remember any of my students' names. I know more for they remember names than I know names.
Well, the thing with the students is I don't know. For me, it's really hard to remember their names if they if they don't say it, and because it's a Japanese name. Like if they had an American name, it'd be a lot easier for me to remember. I think.
Yeah.
But I just think in general, like in real life, right? You don't ask people, "Hey, do you remember me from like yesterday?" Then it's just like, "Oh, this guy, dude, kind of weird." Or like you don't even ask if they remember your name. I think that's kind of messed up in real life. So in Idol World, I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's like more like the unprompted, like
yes,
like I walk in, oh hey Matt, then I'm like, oh okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. Like, rather than like forcing the girl to say your name, if like it randomly pops out, then that's like that feels better.
What are we talking about? Something that randomly pops out feels better? Okay.
What is wrong with you today, Joe?
all them AVs I've been watching. No, I'm just kidding.
Drop a name. Drop a title.
But yeah, okay, so...
I don't know titles. I only know body parts.
I only know the actresses.
So Matt, you hated Yokoyama Yui, so...
Hate is a strong word.
Yeah.
It's more like...
You just didn't click,
was not
right?
impressed. Not impressed. Yeah, didn't click, wasn't impressed. And then, like, even a couple years later, I gave her another chance. And I started to seeing her a bit more, like, back last year in October, November. And, like, in October, she was okay, not... amazing. And then November, I guess it's not really fair because she had like a really bad cold, had like no voice, so basically could not respond to any questions. I'll even ask her semi-interesting questions, and she wasn't really. I was getting kind of a irresponsive.
What kind of interesting questions? Like, what do you think about the economy?
Yeah.
So was it the feeling of like you built her up in your head, and then when you didn't get what you thought, it was disappointing?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
So, like, I know, like, some people have okay, it's gonna weird example, but
Like illusions. Yeah.
Star Wars.
Okay.
No, like after the Force Awakens, right? They had all these like fan theories. Oh, like Rey's gonna be like whoever
Obi-Wan's granddaughter.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, let's not go in spoilers. But then when this last Jedi came out, and it's like, no, that it didn't go exactly as I pictured it in my head. I hate you.
I don't want to bring up Star Wars because I feel like the point of the second in the new trilogy was to like subvert expectations. Like they just did so much to subvert expectations that I think it became like the theme of the movie, which doesn't really happen in Idol World, right? Like no idols trying to subvert your expectations.
No,
unless it's Paruru.
No, she knew. Everybody knew coming in that she's gonna be a bitch and sure enough, you go and she's a bitch, and it's like there's no subverted expectations.
I always found it funny. Like Andy would have like friends, right? Like the whoever foreigners who would come to Japan, and we'd sometimes meet them and have like dinner or whatever. And like most of the time, it's gonna be like, oh hey, who did you see? Oh, I went to see Paruru. How was it? She didn't say anything to me.
It's like, sounds like Paruru.
Yeah, it sounds like Paruru. So were you disappointed? Yeah, kinda. Well, it's your fault.
Well, I said this on like a previous podcast, but like in Dragon Quest IV, there's this quest where like to get this helmet, you have to make the king laugh, and then eventually it gets solved because you bring like the clown, and the clown like was just like ultra serious, and it's just like you got to give the hero the helmet because he's gonna save the world, right? It's not even funny. Yeah. But like people go up because they want to try and make the king laugh, and that's the thing with Paruru, right? Like if they can get any reaction, it's like, yo, dude, that's a success.
Yeah,
I think that was their shtick, right?
Apparently, so I have a friend who's like former Paruru Oshi, and he's like still likes her to this day. But he tells me that basically you go to Paruru, and if you get a smile from her, that's a good day. That sounds crazy to me.
People like that stuff, right? Got to make the king laugh to get that helmet.
Yeah. It's really fucked. Anyways, okay.
Power's gonna give you a helmet after the handshake.
Yeah.
So that's your history. Like after, so when you were like a foreign fan. So when you were a foreign fan, when you couldn't go to events, like what was what were like the biggest misconceptions you had, like that got broken when you got here?
Maybe I can cut in right now, but I would also agree
go ahead.
with Matt that like it's not that you have all these expectations built in your head, is that's all you have to go on, right? Yeah. And so when you actually go to like we talked about this in the last one, when you actually go to the handshake events, you can get a completely different impression, good or bad, about the member that you've chosen to OC or whatever. So I feel like you have to meet them, and then like that kind of like solidifies something. Whereas like if you try and go all in, right, you try to do the photo collecting, you declare this person as your OC, you make signature banners on stage 48 for them, you put the profile, you update your Twitter profile to have them. Like I think that's a little different than like when you actually go and meet them, and then like you kind of figure out if you click or not. And I feel like if you are a foreign fan, right, like there's nothing special about like an Osimhen, right? Like Osimhen, like they use it for anything, right? Like, oh, my Osimhen is this drama, is this actress, or my Osimhen on the Tigers is this dude. Like it just means like your favorite, right? And even if you talk to the common people, right? Like in Japan, they'll say like, oh,
the common.
Like I had a student, right? She's like, oh, my favorite, like, because I had the Momoko sweater on because I thought it looked cool before they started making fun of me. But I remember this girl was like, "Oh, who's your Osimhen?" Right? And I was like, "Oh, I like the pink girl, right?" And she's like, "Oh, I like the red girl." I was like, "Oh, do you know what her name is?" She's like, "No." So like, there's nothing like romanticized. There's nothing special about saying like your Osimhen is this girl, right? And like, oh, you have this sacred covalent bond stronger than Van der Waals forces.
Yeah.
No one got that. No one likes chemistry. But yeah, like
it's when the electrons match up.
That's the covalent bond or the ionic bond.
Okay.
Anyway, whatever. Who cares? But yeah, so like when you choose like in like to like really get that feel of like chemistry, like you should actually meet the girl, I think.
I don't want to like say that the only way to be a fan is to go to events. Like it's a good, obviously, like the whole point is to meet the girls and go concerts and stuff like that, right? So you're losing like vast majority of the experience. But there are people who enjoy the Zaitaku life. Even the Japanese, like they don't want to go to events. I just want to watch like theater shows. I want to watch concerts on DVD. I want to watch AK Bingo or whatever. I mean, it's a valid form of being a fan because, like, as we always say, right? There's a scale to being a fan, and then, like, for example,
There's a hole.
How deep in the sinkhole are you?
yeah, how deep in the single are you? And like, if the people who are like just like casually dipping their toes into the hole, then like that's good enough for them. And then I think there are also people who are like really hardcore, but don't go to events. There definitely are. Like, I don't know why they do it, but I mean, it's a choice, right? Maybe they're like socially, how do you say that?
Inept.
No.
They don't like.
Maybe they
meeting
just
people.
they just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, to be honest, for me, right, I wouldn't, like, if Yuri quits, I would probably stop going to handshakes because I never enjoyed it before I started going to her. So I don't know,
Probably.
it's hard to say, but
Probably.
yeah.
I feel like you can have your Oshimin, and you can also have like your handshake Oshimin.
Yeah.
Nah, that's
Maybe
that's just
for
weird.
me at least, I have that. Like, you know, like
Andy has that
Oshimin,
too.
but
He has like Kojina Yui or something, and
Yeah.
he doesn't like her at all.
his guilty pleasure, you
Yeah.
know, or whatever. Like for me, like like Sayaka is my Oshimin, but like I feel like maybe Goto Lala is my handshake Oshimin. She's probably my favorite one to go talk to. And when she was still around, even Imika,
Are you just saying that because you can't get that many tickets for Sayaka?
that too, yeah.
Let's be real, man. If you could get 10 tickets with Sayaka, it should probably be your Oshiman. Like,
I mean,
quote unquote handshake Oshiman. But yeah, like I want to say, like, you can enjoy the fandom like any way you want, certainly. But one thing, like, you know, people make such a big deal about Oshihens, right? Like, oh man, I can't believe you Oshihen. But like, if you haven't even met them, if you don't have like any chemistry, to me, it's not that big of a deal, right? To say like, oh, now my new favorite is this person. If you've never met them, if you never had like any chemistry, like, okay, whatever. But like, I feel like after you meet them, then you get like a better feeling of like what the actual chemistry is, and then you're just like, oh yeah, this girl's my favorite member because I get these kinds of reactions, or yeah, you know, I get these kinds of reactions, so that's why like I like her, like because I met her, like that's it, right?
It's like a deeper level of connection as opposed to like the surface level where you're like, oh yeah, she's cute, oh she's pretty, you know.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like that's probably if you do not meet them and you don't actually watch, you know, the shows and stuff, where you get to know their personality, all you can base it off of is just maybe looks or something like that.
Or like how she interacts with other people, which could be different than how they interact with you, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say like I don't want to keep bringing it back to Paruru, but there was a time when I was like, I kind of liked Paruru. I was just like, she's really pretty, right? And it was around the time when she won the Janken, when she was still like sentient.
What? Maybe not the best word to put it.
No, she was still sentient.
She still is sentient.
No!
The opposite of sentient is like dead. Or like not
No, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what happened to her. Like I didn't follow her for a while, and then when I saw her and was like, what the hell? She looks like a blow up doll.
What?
okay.
So, she looks like an NPC on Monster Hunter. Anyways, my point is, like, a lot of people like really like her because she's pretty and she's on AK Bingo or whatever, and then go to her and it's like destroys their like entire image of her because like she was really mean to me and I really hate her now.
Well, I mean, for a while, like there was whatever happened, right? The transformation, but
Yeah.
After that, like people knew that you were going to get a salty reaction, so people.
Yeah.
actually
So
went to
after
her
that,
for
yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Like, but then during the transition, I would understand people who got upset because like management basically told her, yeah, it's okay, you can be salty.
They probably encouraged it, like, yo, dude, we're getting more sales because people are trying to make you laugh. Just do it.
Anyways, not discouraging people from like choosing their Oshimen from their looks, because I've seen people who are like on stage, right? They only have like the profile pic to go on, and they're like, oh yeah, she's my new Oshimen. What? Okay.
I mean, like, yeah, you could do that, but to me, it's just like I said before, like, yeah, you could say Oshiman about everything. Like my Oshiman on the Lakers is some dude, right? Like Kyle Kuzma or whatever. And people will say that, like, in normal Japanese conversation, right? Like, oh, who's your Oshiman on the Lakers or whatever. It's not like it's something special, but, like, I don't know, in our community, I feel like if you want to say that it's something special, you gotta make something special. Something special had to have happened, right? Like, not just looking at their profile picture.
Yeah. I mean, I would accept, like, for example, you, Joe, like, you started Oshiing Aika because you liked, like, the 3rd anniversary DVD.
This is where we're gonna get into, like, really testy, because she graduated before I could see her for a second handshake, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like if I kept going to handshakes, then I would have, like, Oshihen to Joe, right? And that's how I feel about this whole thing. Because, like, when I went to Joe, like, the first time I went to Joe, which was before 4th anniversary, I think?
Yeah, before she left. Before Aika left, right? Was it after?
4th anniversary is the one that was hard to get into, right? And then I just had, like, all these handshakes.
Yeah, it was the album. It was the really expensive handshake.
Yeah, like, if I were just to go on, like, handshake reaction alone, then it would have been, like, just straight Joe.
Yeah.
Because I think about it, and that was, like, the best. Because, like, I don't know, there was, like, nobody in line. She's like, oh, yeah, you gotta come see me again. She's, like, always happy and giggly, and I don't know, I really appreciated that. But, like, everybody else is just, I don't know, same typical me style where I just say, like, stupid stuff.
Yeah, so some people, like, have that, right? Like, you can go to events and then you make your opinions based on that. Like, some people, like, for example, Jeff, I think he started Oshiing Mocha because he got res in the concert, which is perfectly
Was that
valid.
it? I
right?
thought it was before that, too, that he started liking her for something.
No, he said that he started liking her, and then when he got the rest from the concert, I think that's, like...
That cemented it for him.
Yeah, that's what he got. The
Sealed the
Mocha
deal.
punched. He got Mocha punched.
But, what else are we gonna say?
Oh, I guess with Oshiman, like, I have my, like I said before, like, the common people. I might have, like, my common person Oshiman, and then I have my actual real Oshiman. And the common person Oshiman would be, like, actually a popular member, whereas my real Oshiman would be my actual real Oshiman, who's not really well known among the mainstream. So there might be that, too. You might have your different...
Does it happen to you guys where, like, you'd be, like, in drinking parties or whatever at work, and then... I mean, it doesn't happen nowadays because AKB is not popular anymore. But, like, back then, it would happen quite a lot where, like, one of the most common, like, questions, hey, who's your AKB Oshiman?
I got that, but I would never say it, Joe, because no one knew.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was more from students than from teachers.
Yeah, because I do that when I introduce myself at schools or whatever. You know, like, oh, I like karaoke, and then I'm like, oh, what songs? Oh, I like to sing AKB48, and then they ask, oh, who's your favorite? Who's your Oshiman?
You can say Sayaka, right? It's not. Like,
Yeah, I said
everyone would
Sayaka,
know
and
that.
some of them may not know. Then I mention, Sanbyaku Rokujugo Nichi Kami Koki. Oh, okay, they know. They may not know. They know the song. They may not know the member.
My answer
Or
for
they know
that is
Sayane. They don't know Yamamoto Sayaka. They know Sayane though.
my answer for that is actually Mayuyu. I don't know. It's really hard. I'm not gonna explain, like, what NMB is and blah blah blah. So
My pocket pick is Mayu.
yeah, so I always answer Mayuyu.
I think it's like you want to give like kind of a public answer
Yeah.
because you don't want to know how deep in the sinkhole you really are. If you give them like a really obscure member and then you have to explain them, it gets a bit,
Yeah.
I think, embarrassing. They start stepping away from you.
If they ask me, I would usually go like, Daremo shirenai. Like, no one really knows her. Daijoubu desu. And if they press me, I'll be like, Joe Eriko, shiranai.
That's annoying. That's annoying. No. I'm quite familiar with AKB. Tell me.
No, it's fine for me because I'll always spin it. It's like, oh yeah, I know. Just oshiete kudasai. Joe Eriko, shiranai desu. Sono tori desu ne. I like call them out on their BS.
Yeah, that's why, like, you're filthy casual, right? You can just go like Yamamoto Sayaka.
Yeah, I like the honest approach because you get some jokes out of it too. But what else? Like, for example, after the election, they're like, oh, who'd you vote for? No one knows. It's like, oh no, tell us. Joey goes, yeah, I don't know her. I'm like, yeah, she didn't rank in. Like, everything sucks. I spent so much money too, and like all the kids laugh. So that was my thing.
Should get them to vote for you.
Vote for me.
Phones?
No.
No, they're like fifth graders, man. They don't even have their own money, and it's Tsushima. Everyone's poor.
They don't have CD shops there. So.
Oh, we do. What are you talking about?
Okay.
I live across the street from it. That's where I rented all my movies. Okay. Any other pitfalls besides the Oshiman? I know Ryan has big feelings about ranking threads on stage 48.
Are we talking about ranking threads?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah.
I don't understand the desire of people. Like, I'm not speaking specifically about the ranking threads. I think they're a waste of space. Like, it's not worth the kilobytes to host them. But I dislike the desire of people to rank things. It's why like Senkyo is so popular. It's like, oh yeah, like the Lakers are better than the Clippers because like Kobe Bryant's cute or whatever. I don't give a shit. It's like
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know anything about the NBA, but like there's always a desire to rank things, right? And then like, oh, I have this like 64 person list of like all the members in NMB, and this is how I like them over each other. Like, really? Do you think like number 49 is better than number 50? Why?
It's kind of like with those video game reviews, and it's like, this game's terrible. Only 7.6.
Yeah.
What?
Where'd you get the point
this
one?
game that got 7.4. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So like, I don't understand like this like culture of like ranking. Like, you can say like, oh, I like these girls, or like, oh, I like this girl better than this girl. Fine, but like, I don't know why you have to rank it. Like, and also like people who keep updating their rankings. Like, oh, this girl like is now number 5 for me. She was like 15 last week. What? Is this like ESPN?
Yeah, dude, it's like the draft. Like, oh man, this person moved up on my table.
Yeah.
Yahagi became number 1 now after that photo was reposted in our chat 5 times.
500 times.
We're moving up on the list. I can
Right,
sort of
so-
get the ranking from like a foreigner's point of view, because you have nothing to do. Right? If you're in Japan and you go to events, right? Like, you don't focus on anything because you can be so into your own thing, right? But when you're a foreigner fan, you have nothing to do. You're just like, oh yeah, I like this girl because she was on TV more.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying that's what happens as a foreigner fan, right? Like, you have nothing to do, so you're just like, I know, let me just rank these girls based on how I saw them on TV.
No, I mean, it's fine. It's fine to like girls because you saw them on TV, right? You're a big fan of AK Bingo, and like you like all the fashion.
Always AK Bingo.
Yeah, you like I don't know. They have like 5 things that they do, and they just rotate around it. Right? You like Shojiki Shogi or whatever. Fine, I don't care. That's your life. But I don't understand like what. From there, you go to like writing it down, and you actually put thought into it. Like, I like Maichi better than Ayatin. Like, really? Do you really?
Maybe.
Right? Like, if I ask you actually to write out their full names, you might not know it.
Yeah, we had this problem when we were all trying to do that test, that quiz, not a Quizlet, but there was a quiz where it's like, how can you identify like all the members that were ever in NMB? And I remember I got like 60% or something. And it was like really hard because you have to like remember their full name, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh god, Makopon is Umehara. Okay,
Right? Like,
like Daigo.
wait, is it like every single member ever?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So like, do you get like Mori Ayaka or something?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's by generation.
Oh, okay. See, like, I wouldn't, like, okay, I could probably get, like, all the first gen, right? But, like some, like, Kenkyusei from, like, second or third gen, probably we don't know those.
It took me a while for like the third gen. I think second and third I was like super weak on because I didn't even know their real name. And plus, it's like one of those things. It's like kanji, right? Like, if you see it, it's easy to write and read. But like, if you come up with it on the top of your head, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those things.
Yeah, anyways. Yeah. Ranking threads.
I think the other thing I don't really like about the ranking threads is, in addition to like voting for what members you like best, you also have you can vote for your negative votes.
They have those?
Yeah, I think in the ranking, like the top member on the stage 48, they have like, I think you have like 10 votes or whatever, and you can either do positive votes or you can do negative
The
votes.
fuck?
Do they still do that?
I think so, yeah.
You should close
That's
those
on,
threads,
like-
Joe. This
I
is
can't.
stupid. close.
So I think it's like, yeah, I mean, it's already bad enough, like, if some girl just gets, like, no votes, but then, like, you also see a girl get, like, 300 negative votes.
I think it was a lot easier back when, like, it was really small, when it's just, like, AKB, SKE, and NMB, which didn't even have all the teams. But now it's just, like, ridiculous, because there's, like, 800-something girls, and it's like, I want to give, like, this girl negative votes. Like, what? Who is that girl? Why do you hate her so much?
Usually, though, it's like the antis for the very top girls, you know, your
Sashihara.
J antis, Sashihara antis.
All the negative votes to Jay and Sashi, right?
That's wow. That's fucked up.
I don't know. I also think
you don't even know this girl. Why do you hate her so much?
Yeah. No, there was this one person on stage. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot like which member. It was like, I don't know. She like really hated like someone random. Like, oh, I'm so happy that like Saipi is not in Senbatsu anymore. What? Did she ever do to you?
At first I got it, right? But then, like, when you spend enough time, it's just like, yeah, I don't really care anymore about, like, determining who's 58th or 57th and hating Ayateen for whatever reason. You know, I feel like that's something... I don't think people do it that much anymore. I think that was, like, a relic of the past, but, like, that stuff does need to die, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying, like, you should close the threads or anything like that. I mean, people...
You just said I should close the threads.
I mean... It was a spur. No, my point is that people can have their fun whatever they want, but I'd rather they expend their energies on like better stuff.
That's always the thing, right? We're always saying like, yeah, you can be a better fan. And what's the problem with me being a fan the way I am? And it's just like, I feel like there's things that'll make you happier, I think.
Yes. No, like you're saying like they have nothing to do, right? Like they can go watch like YNN.
Even we don't watch YNN.
Hey, Jeff watches YNN.
I think I downloaded a bunch of YNN stuff and I just never watched it. Like they were releasing the summer camp and I had like a bunch and then I would just like watch like 5 minutes and I was like,
Those like super long ones. Like I think if you're not watching them real time, it's like takes out all the fun. Like I tried watching some of it. It's like
Yeah, but you already watched it, right?
Yeah, I watched it on the real time. But
yeah, you watched it real time, and like when it was real time, there's all the Matome stuff that was being posted. So it's like,
yes, that's hilarious. Like you can like start tweeting and all that shit. It's just really fun.
Yeah, I can do that because I translate stuff, so people aren't hip with it anyway. They will rely on my stuff as if it was new.
Yes, I post stuff that I think are interesting, but it's very very few and. I'm not really a fan of social media.
Yeah, I'm thinking about closing my Facebook account. But anyway, so we got ranking deads, we got the whole Oshi thing. The Oshi thing I think is really interesting though. I still like fixating on that. And another thing is that some people change. And that could be really good or really bad. For example, like Anshu, right? I didn't have any good reactions with Anshu up until I went to go see her with Andy, and then like ever since then, like everything's changed.
To be honest, right, I think Anshu like has always had like the crazy character in like the theater and TV shows and whatever, but she never brought that into Handshakes.
Maybe.
Yeah, and I think like she's changed a bit, or maybe like I don't know.
Got hit by a train.
Yeah, maybe.
What? Is there a reference I'm missing?
The Gaijin train.
Oh. Just like all those AVs.
Oh, God.
Hey, Joe, did you read about the Andy's thing with Anshu last week?
Didn't he like make fun of her for being terrible at Monster Hunter?
No, yeah, something like that.
Oh no, he asked like what rank, and since she said 9 because I suck at the game.
Yeah.
And then she sent like Mobile May that said I suck at the game.
Yes.
I think it's just us that keeps asking her about it though, or like posting links about like Monster Hunter.
She's like, I don't know what this is. I haven't gotten this far in the game yet.
Right, she liked both of our videos on Monster Hunter.
Posting pictures of Kirin or whatever.
Really? Just like she's really into it, I guess.
Anyway, like the first time I went to see her with Andy, I think this was after like the matcha cookie thing. I think that was like her when she started becoming more crazy, right?
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah. I think that was the thing.
But like, you know, me and Andy like would notice like when we go up, like she just starts screaming English to like everybody behind us too.
Yeah. She was in it before I even saw her at the last event I went to a couple weeks ago. She was like just saying hello, hello, hello to everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, we've changed her.
Wasn't the thing that Andy said though is like because he asked her like why do you always speak in English now all of a sudden she's like because I'm crazy gaijin. That's what she said.
So I feel like that does happen, right? Like you see certain girls and they just change because you've seen them so much, or things just happen, right? I think the first time I saw Anshu, like it was really awkward. Now it's like, oh man, I gotta get those Anshu tickets because it's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, people change. Like, there was this thing with Yuri like a long time ago where she was like, she didn't really give like, she was very majime in her reactions, and she was always like, if you praise her, she's always like, no, 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 and she never took compliments well. And there was just like this one time when it just like changed, and she suddenly became like very. It's hard to say. Nice?
More into it?
Yeah, more into it, yeah. And which like
more receptive.
Yeah, more receptive to everything, basically. And so usually like if you so now she tries to like if you tell her something and she doesn't know what it is, she really, really tries hard to like understand you. It's like, yeah, I watched this drama the other day. So it happens to me a lot with her. Like, she always says, I like anime or whatever. And I ask, yeah, so did you like this anime that you said you did? It's like, I haven't really watched that. But then she tries to like turn it around and say, like, so how did you find it? Was it good? So even that, like just like basic like conversational skills.
I feel like that happens to like most people though.
Most girls?
Yeah, most girls will.
I think most of them you just get Chico and you go. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying like a lot of them. You go like to Kokona or something, you get the same thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kokona's a special case. Some might even say a nut case, but yeah, I'm like the only one that like has said that they have decent reaction to the Kokona, which I think is funny. And then you guys are like talking about like gaijin training her. Anyway,
I think Andy likes her.
I don't think he likes her handshake though.
Yes. He says he's gonna wait.
I was gonna say, so like, I think I remember like talking to Joe about something, and like she didn't know, so she would like ask. I was like, "Hey, do you like American music?" And she's like, "No, I don't. Like, can you tell me like what are some good American music?" So like, I think that's something that everybody like gets as they learn how to have conversations. Like they'll start asking those questions, right?
Yes. That's my point. Like, it's part of their growth too, right? Like maybe you went to the girl like a few years ago and you didn't like the reaction you got, and then now, I mean, people change, especially with these girls because they're so young.
Yeah. So
like with like for example Matt's example with Yui, right? Like a couple of years ago he didn't really enjoy it very much. He thinks maybe he comes back, same thing.
Yeah.
So it's not always like the good.
I also think about Andy's stories with like Nagisa, right? Because he had like 500 tickets or something, and like he's like trying to dig in to find something beside. Like he said, she was very tekito.
Yeah.
The opposite of tekito, which is tekito.
Yes.
And like I can just imagine like Nagisa like just doing that and like not having like any substance or whatever. So like it makes me like kind of sad. But
I mean, even if you think about it, right? Even if you had like 500 tickets, which is, I don't think Andy had 500 tickets, but even if you had 500 tickets, that's like an hour, less than an hour. Oh, okay, that's way too long. But usually, like even if the like you super baller it, right? Like you can only get like 5 minutes, 10 minutes max.
Right.
That's like if you're Nagisa, right? You can just like deflect everything that the person you're talking to says for 5 minutes. That's nothing.
Yeah, but it sucks. Like you would want if somebody got like if you're told this guy's gonna talk to you for 5 minutes, like wouldn't you want to try to find something like interesting?
It depends because like I don't know. Sometimes I think like for the girls, right? They would rather the 10-second interaction because it just goes away like very fast. So they don't really need to think very hard.
Right, but like somebody came up to you, or the guy says like this guy's gonna talk to you for 5-10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
If that happened, like I'd have to change my whole perspective, right? I'd have to be like, okay, like I can't just say like a stupid joke and go away. Like I have to actually.
You gotta get the real talk.
Yeah. You have to change your not expectations, but you have to be ready to handle that, and you have to I guess change what your conversation would be. It's obviously different from like a 10-second, 20-second joke. So I feel like they should be, or if you're the kind of person that likes that, like you should try and be equipped for it. I think. Like I will never get like 2-3 minutes. Like I think that's really hard, awkward. For me, I just like the 2-3 tickets, and maybe do that twice or 3 times. Right? That's me.
Yeah,
I'm just in it for the jokes, but like
there are some people who like the conversation. I mean, I've enjoyed like the Matome Dashi that I've done, like the crazy amount of tickets. But sometimes like you don't really want the long conversations, you just want like short ones. Or you think like you don't really have much to say, like you want to let's say you want to talk about oh yeah, I saw you on TV the other day. You look good. And like, there's not really much to expand on that. So I think like
there could be if you were a good conversationalist. I think it's like, oh, I saw you on TV. You look good. It's like, oh, really? Like, which TV show was it? Did I say something funny, etc. And then that's how you like carry the conversation.
Yeah, you can do that, right? But then sometimes just like you just want to give a compliment.
I don't know. For me, giving compliments is just to give a compliment is already kind of weird to me. It's like, this guy's gonna talk to you. Okay. Hey, I saw you the other day. Nice smile. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Bye. But I would not know what to do with that in real life. So
I think like the vast majority of like idol interactions are like that though, or like the foreigner special. Did you still do that, Matt? Like, oh, my name is Matt. I'm from the U.S.
Yeah, if I do have a new member I've not met for the first time, so I did that with Uchiki K last time. But that was also, I was going with the other joke of telling her, oh, her name is Uchiki K. So yeah. Cause usually also, I mean, I guess I won't say I'm like a special foreigner. Because, a lot of the foreigners I know, they're all like, Asian descent. So they kind of look like Japanese people.
That's
so
true.
When they see me walk into the lane, they're like kind of like all like alert, on guard, like, oh God, this giant white monster is coming to me. And I don't know English. What am I going to do? And he's speaking English to me. And now he's speaking Japanese to me. I'm really even more confused because my concept of foreigners is so out of whack or whatever.
That's true, though. Like,
you think it wouldn't be that way, given that they have ALTs in all these schools now, but nope.
Well, but I think that's like the context. I mean, ALTs are at schools. They're not going to have an ALT come to a handshake event unless they're me.
No, I'm saying that like a Japanese person that has an ALT should get over the whole like, oh, this white person is so different from me. I think that's the point of putting ALTs in school.
But you get like the staring. Like if I'm sitting on the train, I'll get stared at.
Yeah.
And it's more like not so much like malevolent, but more like curiosity.
Yeah.
What's this white guy doing on this train?
And I think like in general, like Japanese people are like really scared of English. So when they see like white guys, like, oh my God, English, which like
Japanese. Oh my God,
throws
English.
them off, right?
Yeah.
So I understand that. Yeah.
I think with the point about long conversations, I like doing that with members because I like to have a long conversation because I feel like you can't really have a solid one in just 3 seconds or 5 seconds. So like, this last election I had, I think 15 for Lala. And so I just asked her, hey, what do you think about English education in Japanese schools? And so she just went off for like 3 minutes about like how students should act and stuff. She's like, yeah, I think students should try answering questions and raising their hand, and they shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes. And she was literally just talking the whole time. Like I set her up, and then she just went for 5 minutes or whatever, how long it was, 3 minutes.
And that's great, right? You get more of a window into like what kind of person she is and what she thinks. And these are the kinds of opinions that there would be no way she would share this like in public because no one would care.
Yeah.
Right? But it's something that satisfies your curiosity.
Yeah. That's why I like to ask them like the interesting questions. I don't want to ask them like, I don't want to tell them, oh yeah, you were funny on this TV show. I mean, unless it's go into more detail. As of the members I'm not so close with, or I just have like, a kind of very limited relationship with.
Uh-huh.
Like if we're going to use persona terms, the people I have like, rank 1, rank 2 social link with, I use the very surface level. Oh, I like the TV show. Whereas Lala, where I'm like, social rank 8, 9 with her, then I ask her the deep stuff.
One more, you can get the massage.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's degrees too. Like I get what Joe is saying, right? Like sometimes like you want to go there for like, I mean, you just want to have fun, right? And like throw some jokes at the girls and see how they react at you. But there's also the other way where you want like a more meaningful like interaction. I don't know, Joe. What do you think about that? Like doing a matome?
Well, for me, I think I've done it, and I didn't like any of it because I don't know. Like, I don't think they. I'm not really interested in like any like. Oh, what do you think about the economy or whatever, right? Matt brought up with Go to Law. I think I had like 3 tickets for Emichi, and I also asked her about English education.
I think I got the idea from you. So that's still your idea.
Yeah, but you had more tickets. And I remember I was like, do you think people can get good at English studying Japan? And she's just like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I was watching the AK Bingo, the last one, because NMB was on it. And like, you just look at NMB, like everybody's like trying really hard to be all like cutesy and like appeal to the judges. And then like there's NMB, right? And they call them terrorists because NMB is just there to have a good time. And that's kind of like why I like NMB, right? I'm just there to like have fun, have a good time, go home.
They messed around so much, like they had to do like the Moe Serifu and whatever, right? And then they did Yuri did like the comedy bit, and then Sayaka was like, "Oh, that's really funny."
The one where they had to talk to like that swimmer guy, and like everyone's like, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm really sorry. Like maybe you should speak more." And then it's like Sayaka goes up, and it's like, "Oh yeah," the guy was like, I didn't say anything funny. I'm really disappointed." And then like Sayaka like broke the fourth wall and was like, "Oh, look what you told that other girl." Like I thought that was really funny. And so like to me that's it, right? Like that's why I like NMB because it's real casual. You could like tell jokes and stuff. That's probably why I don't like the whole long discussion thing because I'm not there for a long discussion. If I want like a substantial conversation, I'll talk to somebody else.
I mean, if you really like the girl, right, and then like, I don't know, it's a matter of like feeling that you have a connection, I guess. Like for example, like you go to Jo and then you ask her about, I don't know, her dog, and oh yeah, so he's like 5 years old now and he likes chasing cats or something. Like for like, if you read about that, it's like, wow, that's really stupid. Like I don't care about that information. That's useless to me. But like, if it's the part where like she tells you about it, I don't know. It's hard for me to describe, but like,
I know what you mean. Like, because you're asking something that you're interested in.
Yeah.
I think the difference with me is that for real, like for conversation in general, if I want a really like good and fun, interesting conversation, they have to be interested in me, and I don't think that's really hard to get at a handshake and it's already kind of skewed because they already know you're paying them to have a conversation, so there's kind of like that
entrapment.
Not entrapment, but there's something that feels fake about it, right? Because they're only, you can say that they're only interested in me because I bought so many tickets for them, whereas they're like, it's hard for them to like be generally interested in you.
That's fair. I mean, I never think about these kinds of things because it's just like gets really weird, right? If you do.
This is what I think about like interacting with normal people. So, so applying it to idols is not a big deal for me, right? Same thing with like meeting like regular people, right? Like they should be interested in you and you should be interested in them. So same thing with an idol, right? They should be interested in you if you want to have a good conversation. And that, to me, that's really hard if you're only there for like 10, 20 seconds. So that's why I don't like the whole long conversation thing.
I think you have to build up rapport with them.
Yeah, but even then that's
like
hard,
when
right?
When you asked Emichi about how did you feel about English conversation, was it your first time seeing her, or did you see her before?
It was my second time, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't remember the first time. No one remembers my first time. I think that's true, right? With everybody, because I mean it was so long ago. That's why. Like, I was with the psych, and I think Ryan and Andy got mad at me for asking like, "Do you remember me?" Because I was expecting like a stupid joke, like, "Hey, do you remember me? I saw you 3 years ago." It's like, oh, there's no way you'd remember me. That's 3 years ago. But then like she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I remember Andy and Ryan be like, I bet you made her feel bad by even asking her that question. I was like, oh, jeez. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
My
you
bad.
should. Those are the kinds of things that like, it's a well known thing that like Wota do, and then it's a well known thing that like idols hate. But obviously they can't say that they hate it. Like I don't know. It's like it's really obvious, right? Like why they hate
For
it.
me, it's really obvious that they shouldn't know me for not visiting in 3 years, but I guess I was wrong.
But the thing is, like,
Yeah.
you think that, right? But there are like crazy people who expect that. Oh, we had this conversation like 1 year ago, so
We had a thing.
yeah, we had a thing.
We had
Why
a thing
don't you
going on,
remember
man.
that? There's
just like that Monster Hunter video. It's like we had a thing, man. We hunted great jaggers together.
About not remember people after not seeing them for 3 years. I get that sometimes with former students. Like, do you remember me? I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't know your name. I remember you though. So I mean, I'll lie to their face at times. And if they test me, and I'm like, run away. I'm not trapped in this lane, so I can do that.
I remember when I left one of my schools, like, for some reason they asked me to sign their English book. I don't care, whatever. And like, when they were talking to me, like, for their signature, I'd like say their name. There's like one kid whose name I didn't know, and I was like, "Oh, dude, what's your name again?" And then like all the other students like dogged on him because I didn't know his name. I was like, "Oh god, this is the worst." Sorry.
right. So, like, if you guys feel awkward enough as it is, imagine how it goes for like idols.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. That's why I thought it was like so obvious that she wouldn't remember that it would be funny, but I guess not. Because I spent like 2 years with these students, so
Yeah.
for me to not know their name is like really awkward. She spent like 8 seconds 3 years ago. Like, how can you even make that expectation? Whatever. Anyway, what were we talking about before I start talking about that? Who knows?
Yeah.
Any other comments about pitfalls that foreign fans fall into? Gosh, we went so away from that I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a good conversation. I think foreign fandom is inherently disadvantaged, obviously, by being foreign. So, like, all the media is in Japanese. None of it is very foreigner friendly. They can't go to events, and the whole point is to go to events. So, I'm impressed with people who have never gone to events and who have remained fans while being foreign, basically. And yeah, I mean, you go you, and but there's like a lot of media that I think you can consume that is much better than like arguing on the internet about how Sashihara is better than Mayu or something.
I think that also falls into the whole social thing too. Like, people just want to be social, and if that's what they're arguing about, you feel like you're obliged to join them to be social, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why we're here, because we're a lot cooler and we don't do that kind of stuff. Except for Ryan, he always does that in our chat room and
What?
bitches about everybody.
No, I don't. I love everybody.
Oh my god, that's the biggest lie I've heard today.
I'm the biggest Hakoshi here.
That's the biggest lie I've ever heard. I think the funny thing is, like, we were talking about like the Stage 48 thread, right? And like, because you did a thread about the whole border thing.
Yeah.
And this one guy, I think we were considering making him a moderator. And so I was like, oh yeah, I want to hear what like Ryan has to say about this because he pays attention to that.
Yeah.
And then Jeff wrote in our chat room, it's like, hey, this guy wants to hear your opinion. He was like, oh yeah, there's that one guy that
You're
didn't
being
like
summoned.
it. It's like, there's that one guy that didn't like it. I don't want to do it anymore. Like, jeez, man, there's just one guy.
No, I was saying that there was the other guy who complained. That was the
Yeah. But like the fact that somebody remembers you and wants you to make another thread, and you're just like, no man, this guy hated me. Like, I don't want to do it.
No, I was busy this past week anyway, so I was thinking of doing it actually.
Well, I don't even know if it's as big a deal because the Wadoto People was like a year before the last single. So
Yeah.
was a big. This one's like 4 months. Like, we don't even have time to recover.
Yeah, I mean, so there are obviously like most members like still. I mean, the whole spiel is the same thing, right? Oh, Kuyashi, I want to get into Senbatsu. I haven't given up. Blah 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 blah. So last time it was more interesting because it was a year that they had to wait. but now it was like there wasn't really very much drama other than like Apon getting dropped and then Kokona getting into Senbatsu.
Anyway, I just wanted to say that you were like, oh man, like they didn't like it. They were complaining about my thread. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like you had like 20 responses to your thread. You have me in your pocket because I'm the moderator and I can shut down things so fast. And you're still complaining about stage. Like, come on, man. Come on, man.
I complain about everything. Yes.
Yeah, you should stop it. Otherwise, I'll turn into Timmy.
I don't think I'll ever get that bad though.
You're getting there, man. I'm warning you.
You're on the path to the dark side.
I'm warning you, dude. I opened up line. Oh, I can't believe what this girl did. I'm warning you, man. Well, Anshu should shut up. Oh my god, dude. Them's fighting words, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Why did I say that?
I
don't remember.
I don't know. You just
You're like she's cute if she just shut up.
Yeah. No, it's a common thing that like it was a joke. Like I think only.
Oh yeah, it's a joke. No, it's not a joke.
No, I think only Jeff got it. It's a thing that Japanese fans talk about Anshu. It's the
But it came out of nowhere though.
Huh?
I think it came out of nowhere. Like I was just
we were talking about like how Anshu like what were we talking about? I forgot.
See, you just brought it up, trying to come up with an excuse. I'm on to you.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Okay. Well, this is a very pleasant meta discussion. I hope you enjoyed that. Before we sign off, I think somebody left a comment on one of our YouTube videos.
Oh.
This is the guy that said like, you're in a sinkhole when you're like talking, when you're listening to other people talk about it.
Yes.
What was his name? I don't remember his name. Sorry.
But
I just want to say that if you made it this far, 2 hours and something, 10 minutes into it, I feel like this is like not the sinkhole. This is like the social part. This is the fun part. You get to meet other people. You get to talk to other people. You talk to us. Get our opinions. Hang out with us. Eat Kobe beef with us. That to me, that's the fun part. That's not the sinkhole. The sinkhole is when you have no money in your bank account. You got to take a loan from Andy. That's the sinkhole.
Yeah.
This is the positive, fun stuff. Also, me making fun of Matt is fun stuff too, right? Like, this is all the fun, friendly community. This is not the sinkhole. If anything, I encourage you to go more down this way and make sure your bank account is healthy.
Cut off the rope.
Yes, and come play Monster Hunter with us.
Yeah, if you let us. Unless you're like Ryan, who just tries to solo everything and fails, and then we carry him anyway. You have to wake up 6:30 in the morning for that.
Hey, that happened one time.
I don't even think we played that time. I think the only time I played with you guys was with Ryan. I forget. Maybe it was like me helping. Oh, it's because you were trying to kill Rathalos, and then like you were trying for like 2 or 3 hours, and you're like, "Oh, I've had it with this. Like, can you guys help me out?" And then like it was like me, Andy, and Matt like all joined your game. We all like whooped Rathalos in like 6 minutes.
You still died twice.
No, it was Diablos, not Rathalos. You were using the hunting horns.
Oh yeah, Diablos 2, and
I think it was both. Yeah.
We crashed your game for Odegaron too.
Yeah, I think.
And I think that's when you died twice. And you're like, I think it's the weapon, and I'm like, no, man, it's because you're running around with half health.
Yes.
But apparently, you can beat Black Diablos in high rank, so I guess you're a lot better. Good job.
Yes.
Dude, Black Diablo still gives me problems. I hate that.
I don't like the fact that there's 2 of them. If it's just one of them, I could kill both of them.
Black Diablos is even more. I can fight Diablos like easy, kind of.
Yeah.
Black Diablos, like because like first of all, she's always bouncing like around the map, and then like her charge actually has like an extra like gore to it, and the tail becomes a hitbox too. So you get hit by the tail, even though like it doesn't look like it should hurt you.
Okay, we should stop the Monster Hunter stuff.
All right, that'll be all for this edition of Monster Hunter Party. Episode 34.
Featuring NMB48.
Featuring NMB48. Yeah.
All right.
Go Sayaka.
Go Sayaka. Best hunter.
Go Anshu.
Fifth Fleet Anshu. Anyway, that'll be all for Takoyaki Party. I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, if you have any comments, you can leave it on the Stage 48 thread, message us on Twitter, or you can leave a comment on YouTube. We read everything, probably because we don't get anything. So technically, we've read everything. Okay. This is Joe, Osaka Joe, for everybody else, signing off. See you later.
Bye-bye.